the day that I harvested my bear, I had what I would consider an unexplained encounter with what I would call the Bigfoot.
Some mysterious creature.
Like, I never saw it.
Okay.
Were you on any psychedelics at the time?
No, I was 18. Which
answer the question.
Means, but
is that your final answer?
Okay, so you're in the middle of nowhere.
Sober, focused, young.
On a tree stand with a bait barrel, I assume, up there?
Yep, so we portaged from
Define
Hamburger
sober.
Island. Well,
no beers during the days?
I would say nothing, like as baseline as I could get.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I had our guide, his name was Dave, Super Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And Super Dave dropped the boat off at one portage.
Yep.
Just connecting one lake to another.
Yep.
Drove through one portage to another, so I'm really far away from Hamburger Island. And everything's so flat out there, you can hear everything.
Yep.
So when your boat's coming to pick you up on most days. Well, I was the last day. I was the last hunter that didn't kill. I was way out these two portages. I got dropped off at like noon. And a big snowstorm came through. It was like first week of June. And I'm hunting and everything, and you just get like that intense.
Sure.
Like when a deer's behind you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what we're talking about.
The old Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is behind me? I'm like trying to look, and things were weird. And then all of a sudden, about an hour later, in comes this monster bear. Just big, brewing, gnarly, 18-inch skull, Pope and Young book bear. And he just comes in, just huffing. So probably other bears is what I'm indicating. Like I probably heard something, smelled something behind me, and here he comes. So he comes right into the bait. I pulled the G2 Buckmaster back up with the G5 Montec. Just put one perfect, and he ran about 10 yards. And bears die quick.
Yeah, if you hit him right.
If you hit him right, and especially with an arrow.
Yeah.
He kind of laid down, did the death moan and everything, and so here's where maybe.
So now it's dead quiet.
Yes, and you know what it's like.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm thinking, oh man, do I get down? I'm all alone.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a new hunter. I'm 18.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like a 32-year-old guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt this crazy presence. After I see the bears done it, and it's been about 20, 30 minutes after it expired. And I heard the unmistakable noise of a wood knock. And you hear about on, Discovery Channel about the wood knocking. It just sounded like, knock.
Oh, I've heard. That's all I hear from my dad.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking to myself, holy shit. So I get down.
The knock.
And the guy told me, he's like, if you do kill one, and you're cold, make a fire, and I'll pick you up, whatever. I'll be here at like 2 a.m.
Yep.
So it's like.
You can't call him.
No radio.
No radio,
nothing.
no service. Yeah.
I am in the middle of nowhere all alone.
Seems like radios would help.
And they probably would, but we didn't have radios. No radios. He did give me a rifle.
Okay.
270.
Just in case.
Yeah, just like, whatever. Yep. And so I get down out of the stand, and I'm a little bit like worked up. What was that? One knock.
Just a single knock.
Just a single knock. What was that?
And it's dead quiet. So
it's
just
still
like,
quiet, nothing.
It's not dark out. It's
it doesn't really get super dark out up that far north, but it was not 10 o'clock. I mean, it was very well lit, like 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
And I went and I grabbed my bear, and I'm taking selfie pictures back whenever we had the cameras.
Oh, yeah.
8 meg or 8 gig, and I'm taking selfies. And I heard it again, single knock. And so I pick up a stick, a spruce branch, because you're in the bush. It's pretty thick. Mm-hmm. And I just smacked it as hard as I could against this branch, or against another tree. Yep. Knock. Heard another hit. I was like, oh.
Like a call and response at this point.
I did what Stan Potts would do in a scrape. I peed all over my bear. I was like, I gotta get back up. So
you peed on your bear?
All over it. All over it. There's nobody's taking my bear. So I ran up, and I'm like, I'm scared, And so I'm like, I go.
That's mountain lions you're thinking of, by the way.
I don't even. Yeah.
That's what that works for.
He's like, I peed on my face too.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, Yeti doesn't give a crap. He's taking it.
Yeah. So I went up, and now I went up into my tree stand, and there's a 270 up there. I brought my bow down, and so I have my 270.
You probably should have brought that down with you.
I wasn't thinking. Yeah. And, same thing. I heard a knock, so I am up in the tree stand.
And I mean, is it like moving?
Moving. It's all on this hillside, and my back is against the lake, and we're in a swamp.
Yep.
So it's coming closer. It's just like when you strike a gobbler,
oh, yeah.
you know he's working,
he's moving.
And you know he's moving. And so this thing's like communicating with me, like almost like telepathically, like I could feel it. And so I went down out of my tree because I was freaking out, and I took, I had the gun like put on my hip, and I hit again two or three hits, and then it did 2 or 3 hits, and I'd go over towards the lake.
Are you thinking Yeti at this point?
100%. I was like, but that's the problem. You think it, and then you believe it.
Yeah.
And it went back and forth for a while, and then I got a little scared, and I lit a fire. And when I lit a fire, I heard a branch break really close to me, and I heard knocks, like, in the bush, you can see maybe 20, 30 yards.
Yeah.
And it was, I'd say 50.
And
so I pulled out the 270, and I fired 3 shots. Like, not directly into the bush.
Sure.
Like, up,
You walk up
warning
to your
shots.
guide's like, oh.
Problem
a
was,
bald eagle falls out of a tree.
problem was the guide. I was signaling the guide like, I'm early, I'm finished,
Yeah.
I'm done. Here's my shots.
Yeah.
Come freaking get me.
Yeah.
And when he showed up, he's like, there's no way I could have heard you. We were way too far away. But I sat there with my back to the lake, with my hand on this 270, looking out. My bear covered in my piss. About 25
He's
yards
like,
away.
this bear smells like piss.
Yeah.
Did you tell him, or you were like, I don't know? It's just.
Well, no, I immediately told the guide.
What did he say?
He said,
You're like, I heard
Yeah,
a Yeti.
because that guy's probably up there all the time, right?
he did not doubt what I saw or heard, rather, or felt. He, like,
No, no, no.
Did he embrace it?
I want to
totally
know his
embraced it.
reaction to you thinking you heard a Yeti and then peeing all over your bear.
I think I didn't
Two
say
separate-
anything.
two separate
Because he grabbed
accounts.
the bear when he came up to us, rolling it around. And I'm like, oh, it's covered in piss.
He's like, man, this thing really smells.
Yeah, it's a gnarly. It was in rut. That's a boar.